Alright mate, how you doing and welcome back to another video. Today I've got a very exciting opportunity for you. You could become a co-owner of an actual football club. Not an amateur football club, a professional football club. A professional football club that used to play in the Europa League, that could again play in the Europa League if we do our job properly. The club I'm talking about is Real Oviedo in Spain. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know all about these boys. You know about my involvement in these boys. I am a shareholder in Real Oviedo. I'm not alone. A lot of people bought shares in Real Oviedo a couple of years ago when they were in some trouble. Basically, they had a similar story to a lot of English clubs, the likes of Leeds and Portsmouth, who once were playing at a really high level and then dropped down the divisions. So Real Oviedo were playing in the Europa League not too long ago, about 15 years ago I think, and then after some financial difficulties and some bad management, they fell down the Spanish league system, and now they find themselves playing in the Segunda B, which is the third tier of Spanish football, same as League One in England. And a couple of years ago, they nearly died as a club completely. They were almost extinguished. And then what they did is they appealed to the football community and asked them to buy shares in their club. And the world responded. Not just Spanish people, but people across the world said, I like this story. I want to keep this club alive because of various things that Oviedo have done in their history that appeal to real football fans, which I'll go on to talk about later in the video. So long story short, the world united and saved Oviedo, raising millions of pounds for them. And now Real Oviedo are looking to go one step further. The money they raised a few years ago when they offered shares to people helped them stay alive as a club. But now they want to raise some more money to take them to the next level and to return them from whence they came. If you want a bit more of a backstory on what exactly happened in Real Oviedo a few years ago and how I got involved in it, I actually made a little documentary about it. I went over to Oviedo, we watched a match, I was actually pitch side reporting on the match. You could see me filming with the players behind me. It was wicked. It was one of my best football experiences ever. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. A lot of you haven't seen it because it was on a different channel before this channel was really about. So make sure you check that out for a proper backstory on the Real Oviedo events. So in this video, I'm going to make a case as to why you, a hardcore football fan like yourself, should invest and buy a share in Real Oviedo. And by the way, when I say invest, it's not a lot of money at all. We'll get onto that, but it's a really fun way of enhancing your football experience and being part of a magical journey. So let's crack on. Let me tell you some reasons why you should get a share in Real Oviedo. Reason number one, it is dirt cheap, people. It's 11.5 euros per share. I mean, that's nothing, is it? That's like 8 or 9 quid max in English money. And this is part of the reason why their share offering in 2012 did so well across the world, because other clubs that have hit on hard times have asked their fan base for some money and they've charged like £100 a share, and as a result, only people that really support that club in a hardcore way are going to buy a share. However, with Real Oviedo, they made it so cheap and approachable for anyone in the world to buy a share that people like myself, who had no former affiliation to Real Oviedo at all, got involved and bought one. So price is definitely not an obstacle in getting involved here, because it's not like Oviedo are appealing only to rich people like big football clubs have, you know, rich shareholders. They want the everyday football fan to get involved and just buy one share if you can. Reason number two. Now, you may have noticed the 3 names on this shirt. I mean, you can see Mata, Cazorla and Michu. And there's a reason I had this shirt made, because these 3 guys are all ex-players of Real Oviedo. Michu, Juan Mata and Santi Cazorla all have played and starred in the Premier League, and they all started at Real Oviedo. And much like my club, West Ham, who are known for having an academy of football and producing good players, Oviedo have done exactly the same over a period of years. Not only that, but all 3 of these guys actually invested and bought shares in the club when they were struggling a few years ago. So if you buy shares in Oviedo, not only will you be a co-owner with me, you'll be a co-owner with Juan Mata, Santi Cazorla and Michu. That's pretty cool. Moving on from that, another person you'll actually be a co-owner with is the richest man in the world, Carlos Slim. When the Mexican billionaire heard about the Real Oviedo story a few years ago, he trumped up 2 million euros, making him the biggest single shareholder in the club. But the important thing is the fans still represent a majority. So we run the club. So basically, you can put on your CV that you have a business with the richest man in the world. Not bad. Now, another reason to get involved is that you'll not only be joining these 3 guys and myself and Carlos Slim as a shareholder, you'll also be joining Real Madrid. That's right, Los Blancos, one of the biggest clubs in the world, bought 100,000 euros worth of shares. They didn't want a fellow Spanish club to fall on hard times, so they helped them out. Now, that's a wicked story, and if Real Madrid can do it, then why can't you? The next reason is that we want to paint the planet blue. Now, one of the things that's so cool about this story is how widespread the people that bought the shares have been. You know, every country almost in the world has been represented by people that have bought shares. The UK is the second highest country with the most shares. Obviously, Spain is first. But across the world, there's countries all over the place that got involved. You can see some images on the screen now that make that a little bit more clear for you. So wherever you're from, you can be a part of this amazing story. Who knows? You could head up the Vietnam Real Oviedo Supporters Club, the Timbuktu Real Oviedo Supporters Club, the Neptune Real Oviedo Supporters Club. To be fair, I don't know if they have the internet in Neptune yet. I'm not sure. If you're from Neptune, let me know in the comments below. Moving on from that, another really good reason to get behind Real Oviedo, I think, is that it can be your second club. Now, as an Englishman who supports an English club, West Ham, Real Oviedo and West Ham are in zero competition with each other. Even if one day they were in the same European competition, fingers crossed, yes, in that case I'd support West Ham. But other than that, Real Oviedo have become my second team. I can support them with absolutely no worries of being a traitor to my first choice club. So it makes perfect sense to get behind that club and support them just like any other. I follow all the Real Oviedo scores. I've been out there to watch the games. I'm going out there again soon. I feel like a proper supporter and obviously a shareholder in the club, which is a sort of involvement that you probably don't have with the team you support as your first team. And my final reason, which is a very important reason by the way, is that Real Oviedo are currently top of the league. And if they get promoted this year, which is a very good chance they will, they'll go up to the Liga Adelante, which is like the championship in Spain. Not only does that mean they're one step closer to returning to La Liga and playing the teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid on a regular basis, but it also means they'll be in FIFA. If you like playing FIFA like me, that means there'll be players from Real Oviedo in Ultimate Team. That means I'll be able to do a career mode on the game. So will you. You'll be able to properly play with these guys and these players that you've invested in and that you've become a part of. I've done a football manager career with Oviedo, so I'm quite familiar with a lot of their players, as well as obviously having seen them play in real life. You might have seen them play on Sky Sports this year in the Spanish Cup when they took on David Moyes' Real Sociedad. But we might see them on a much more regular basis if they do get promoted, and there's a very good chance they will. That's it from me, guys. All I can say is that this Spanish club means a lot to me. They've been so good to me and other shareholders. A load of us went out there after we bought shares when I made that film, and if you watch that documentary, there's a link in the description, you'll see the reception we got out there. I mean, I was allowed to go on the pitch, I was allowed to walk around during the game, film right from the side of the pitch. When we got off the bus and arrived at the training camp, we had people clapping us, just Oviedo fans clapping me and the fellow British people that had come over. They had effectively saved the club. It was a really emotional time. We had a football tournament where we played different supporters of Oviedo. It was unbelievable, guys. One of the best football experiences I've ever had, and I'm going to keep having them with this club, and you can too. All the details you need are in the description. There's a link to a website where you can buy the shares. You'll get a little certificate that you can print off and do whatever you want with. It's an amazing opportunity to be part of a really special club with really good intentions as well, and this is the way that a lot more clubs are being structured now. Fan-led, fan-owned, all the way to the top. That's the dream, and you can be part of it. If you've got any questions about the Real Oviedo story or how the shares work, feel free to tweet me about them at Spencer Owen, or leave a comment in the description. And by the way, if you do go and buy a share, here's what I want you to do. I want you to tweet me and Real Oviedo on Twitter. I'll leave a link to their Twitter in the description as well. A picture of the certificate you get when you buy the shares. Print it off. It's a little blue thing. Print it off with a picture of yourself holding it to prove you bought shares. And I'll choose one of you at random to win one of these bad boys. This is my Real Oviedo kit. You're not having this one. I want it. But I will buy one and send one to one of you guys that buys shares. Okay, it's a lovely little kit. Very nice. I play football in it regularly. So, I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you know what? I might even be able to get the club to sign one for you as well. I'll ask them. We've got a very good connection, me and the club. We talk a lot. And I'll get you a signed shirt. All you got to do is buy a share, tweet me evidence, tweet the club as well, and we'll get one of you a shirt signed by someone from Real Oviedo. That's special. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Get yourself a share or two in Real Oviedo. And let's watch these boys return to the top. I'll see you when you're older. Don't go changing.